Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to do our questions and answers. I just want to say thank you. I love all your questions. Keep them coming. And they're good food for thought. They help so many other people. So, just for that I want to say thank you. Okay? The first question that I have is from Lisa. Don't some spirits choose not to go into the light? I thought that was a good one. Yes, it's a great question. And there is a difference between earthbound spirits and spirits that have crossed over. Now, let me tell you the reasons why sometimes spirits don't want to cross over. For one thing, they may think they weren't really good here, and they're afraid of what is going to be on the other side if they're going to be punished. So there are times when they decide they are going to miss their window of light and say, nope, I'm staying right where I am. The second reason is if they were in a horrific car crash or an explosion, or they were murdered. They weren't ready to cross over, or they want to help us connect the puzzle pieces and solve the crime. Many times, I always tell you, this is how I first started out in this business, by missing people, cold case files, and I still do them. And yes, do I see the spirit? They talk to me all the time and they let me know what happened. And sometimes they don't even know where they are, where their bodies are, and they tell me. I had one case in particular. She woke me up and she says, help me find me. Interesting. So I started to, and she was showing me where, and it was a lot of work, but we ended up finding a lot through this case. So sometimes they're just not ready to go because they have unfinished business. And then last is because some families are so devastated of their loved one's demise that the loved one can't bear to be without them because they feel so bad. So they feel that they want to stay, and they feel that they want to be with them and comfort them. But here's the problem that I always say. Earthbound spirits have no place here, because what happens is they have no physical body anymore. All right? And because they have no physical body, they are still the same without a body. It isn't until you go through that light, you're with God, that you become one with God and you become that supernatural spirit. And then you can come back and forth as often as you want. So I always say that. So anytime that somebody's in hospice or in a hospital dying, tell them to go to that light. There is no punishment on the other side. I want to make that perfectly clear. You're going to say, well, what do you mean? What happens if somebody killed all these people? That's between God and them. Okay? Are you going to burn in hell? And no. You are going to go into a level of what you have to learn for soul growth. But there is no punishment. Now you're going to say, well, that's not fair. Somebody killed 30 people. What's that? That soul will have to deal with God, and God will have to show them the direction that they need to do and go. So I can use that as another video. But earthbound spirits need to cross into the light for their clarity, for their peace, but also for their soul growth. Because if they don't go into that light, they will never be able to grow and choose and experience all these lovely experiences that we have with God and the angels and our spirit guides. Okay, so that's a great question. I want to say thank you to Lisa. The next question I got is, how soon after death can our loved ones connect? Right away. Many times they're not even passed yet, and I call that in-between worlds, where they're half in, half out. They're getting ready to cross, but they're still here physically on the physical realm. And I'm able to make contact. I had a session with a woman that I said, your grandmother, I think she's passed. And she's, no, she's here. I said, I don't know, there's something. I don't want to tell you bad news, but I don't get a good sense that your grandmother is going to be here. I feel she's in between worlds. Sure enough, she got a call and her grandmother did pass. And she says, and she did. She sent me a lovely email saying, I did not know that at the time, but you were right on the money. How did you know? Because I can make contact with spirit even before it crosses, knowing that they are preparing. So, you can make contact very soon. I have a lot of clients that say, I had a dream that so-and-so passed, and then even before they passed, and the next day, 2 days later, I got a call, they passed. So is it true? Yes, you can make contact. There are people that can do it that have a gift. I can always make contact. So when you go to a psychic medium and they say it's too soon, they're not a good psychic medium. A psychic medium should be able to make connection right away. Okay? So that is something that I do want to say to you. Okay. Third question that I've got. Do our loved ones watch us in private times? Do they watch us in the shower? Do they watch us making love? Do they watch us in do they watch us when we're naked? Well, first of all, our loved ones, when they cross, they don't have that human aspect that we know as human beings. They do usually give us our privacy. Have I had spirits that came in personal times for me? The answer is yes. So what do? I just tell them to please give me my privacy. And they do. But usually the way that they will look at us is not the way that we are understanding, because we're still human. When I'm in the shower I get a lot of spirits that come visit me in the shower. Am I embarrassed? The answer is no. Because when they come in lovingly, but they come in for a direct message that I need to know. So I'm very grateful for those messages. And they're not looking at me like, oh my God, she's naked. There is no course of that ever. So don't worry about that, okay? It's a great question, but just go about your life and be the person that you're supposed to be, the best person you can be. Because yes, do they watch? Do they know we're having arguments with other loved ones? Do they know that we didn't do the right thing? Do they know that we're struggling? The answer is yes, 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 and yes. You can always talk to them within you. You could talk out loud, whatever you're comfortable with, but they are very much alive in spirit, and they do hear, and they're very active, and they will help us, but you cannot block them, all right? The last question that I have is, do I ever hold back information that spirit gives me? Great question. No. When a spirit comes through, it is here. This is what it is. It's kind of like when you have a court case and you have to hire an attorney to represent you. Your attorney is going to be doing all your talking. Okay? Same thing with the spirit. It's your energy that brings spirit, but I'm able to tap in. But I represent the spirit. I'm not representing you, the loved one, sitting across the table or on the phone or on Zoom. When they want to know what the messages are, I will say them. There is a way to say them. But yes, I am always truthful, because it's a very big disrespect to the spirit if I am not telling their loved one what they want them to know. Many times people will come to me and they're expecting to hear things, and they hear completely different things. Why? Because you are meant to hear what you're meant to hear today. People often ask, well, can I come back? Will the messages be the same? No, they are always different, because life is always evolving, and you are meant to hear what you're supposed to hear today. So going back, do I hold back things? No. Anything that the spirit wants their loved one to know, I say it, but there is a way to say it. But you always should be honest. When I did a video, somebody had asked, if I see something bad, do you hold back? No, but there is a way that I say it, and I do have a finesse in when I speak to my clients. So for instance, if I see a car that's maybe a car accident, first thing I'll say is, hey, how's the energy in your car? And usually they'll say, well, I've had a couple accidents. Well, maybe you should sage the inside of your car. Or sometimes I'll say, hey, you know what? I think you need a new car. Your dad's telling me you need a new car, but I think you also need a new car. This is me saying it. Yeah, you're right. It's pretty old. And I've got close to 200,000 miles on it. I go, well, it's time. So is it a way of saying you better get a new car, or you might be stranded, you might get into an accident? There is a way to say it. But do I hold things back? No, I really don't. But a lot of times people say, I never saw myself living old, long. Do you see that for me? And sometimes I'll look at them and I'll say, actually, you will live a long life. And sometimes I'll say, you know what? Maybe you won't live as long as you would hoped, but make the best out of your life. There is a way to say these things. So am I realistic, but am I truthful? Yes. Am I hurtful? Never. I don't believe in that. And like I said, there is a way to ease into a conversation that makes sense without making somebody afraid or scared or putting a seed that something bad is going to happen. Okay? So I hope this helped you. I love the questions and answers, and I love that we're able to do that, Travis and I. Please keep the questions coming. Please, subscribe to all the social media, because there's no reason that you can't get anything that I do from Facebook to YouTube, to all of these things, Instagram. So you will always see all of that. Any upcoming things that I have, those will always be posted as well. So I hope this helps. I hope you continue to have a very blessed week, all of you. And I wish you joy, happiness, and love. Take care until next time. Bye-bye.